Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Based! I'm so fired up today. Peekaboo! I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2024, the album Dad, Shimmy, Shimmy, AF. I didn't just come here to dance, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? No, I really don't know what she means. Let me just tell you something, okay? I have listened to this song on repeat for like the last 12 hours. It came up on my iTunes. I was like, oh my Lord. You want to talk about a bop, JoJo Siwa? Carly Rae Jepsen back in 2000, I think it was 2016 or 17. She had a bop with this song right here. I have it right here. I love this song so much. Oh my God, I've been listening to it on repeat for the last 24 hours. I didn't just come here to dance. I can't sing it, but I can sing it if it's playing. Are you one of those people? Are you like me? Like with the song singing in the background, you think you are the best. You're like, oh my God, I should start me a TikTok career. I'm going to be singing on the TikToks. I'm going to be doing covers on the YouTubes and things like that. You know, then I'm going to have to go on RuPaul's Drag Race, and then I'm going to be like, I didn't just come here. Well, actually, I can't sing that song, so let's listen, okay? If you're going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race, you got to be able to lip sync to a good song. You got to know your words, okay? And you got to have a good reveal. So I got all three of those, okay? So here we go, okay? Rock on, gold dust. What? Ah, failed! My reveal failed. Oh my God. I feel like Peppermint in the finale. Or was it Peppermint? Or who was it? I can't remember, but I feel like, oh my Lord, I know it wasn't Sasha Velour with all those roses. Oh my God, what a fail. Okay, we're going to try it again. Rock on, gold dust. Whoa. Where did my reveal go? My reveal. Oh my Lord. This was going to be, I'm like so many times I've been thinking I need to stop this video. My reveal was going to be a JoJo bow. It was sitting right over here. I tried it like 15 times before the video. I was like, this is going to be so cute. I'm going to have me a reveal. And I'm going to, I had it perched right here, right? And I'm going to be like, rock on, gold dust, woman. See, it worked that time. I got my little JoJo bow and everything in dedication to all you JoJo Siwa lovers out there, okay, that wanted to hit me up in my DMs and remind me of how fucking old I am. Guess what? I know, okay? I'm a month and a half shy of 52. And you know what? I'm still rocking. And I'll tell you something that I know that JoJo Siwa don't know, okay? She can got all the bows in the world. But I'll tell you right now, what I do know is, I know a bop when I hear it, okay? And those songs that JoJo Siwa claims that she wrote, things like that, that apparently she bought like at the Five Below where you can buy her bows and things like that. Did y'all hear about this? Oh my God. I have to just tell you, I did not see, where's my lip gloss sitting right in front of me right here? I did not see on my, my bingo card for 2024, I did not see Todrick Hall and JoJo Siwa anywhere whatsoever, right? And this is where like people are like, Peter, you should be these people's PR agents, right? Because if I were JoJo Siwa, first of all, I would have reinvented JoJo. I don't even know what to call her anymore. I would have reinvented JoJo Siwa in a way. Like, I'm just going to pull something out of my ass right now, okay? But I would have reinvented something. I would have had JoJo Siwa. This is what I would have done, okay? I would have had JoJo Siwa do a complete physical makeover, first of all. I watched that video. I didn't think she looked that karma's a bitch or whatever, which apparently all these people are sending to me, and I don't know if this is true or not, that she's claiming that she wrote this song. She bad. Ah! I saw this guy. What is his name? He is so funny. I saw him. Somebody sent this TikTok to me, and his name's something like Spears. But his name's Britney Spears or something, and he does this imitation of JoJo Siwa. It is so funny, and the whole time, he's like acting like he's being interviewed with somebody, and the whole time he's like, it's so hilarious, because it is like spot on JoJo Siwa, okay? She's like, yeah, I'm bad. And he keeps on like flicking off the camera and stuff. It is so funny. It is so right on what she is. JoJo Siwa is like a 14-year-old that smoked pot for the first time and called her mom a bitch or something like that. You know what I mean? That's JoJo Siwa's bad era at almost 21. Okay, smoking pot for the first time, calling her mom a bitch or something like that. Well, JoJo Siwa, you and your mom got some allegations too. Everybody left it in the comment sections of my video the other day that I did. They said, oh, Miss Jesselyn, they did not treat those girls very nice on your show. See, that'll be a video that I'll be doing. Because now that you're on my radar and the JoJo Siwa fans, see, this is how you get my attention, okay? Now that the JoJo Siwa fans have come out from the woodwork with their bows, where's my bow? Where's she at? How did I lose that damn bow? It was right here. Oh my God, that little thing, I lost it. Oh my Lord. See, that's why I don't mess with little things. I only mess with big things. But anyway, where did that little bow go? Is she somewhere I don't see her? I'm like, oh my God, do I have her on my head the whole time? Where is that little bow? Did she go down the crack in my bed? Well, that wouldn't be the first thing that did. But anyway, listen, this is how you get my attention, okay? When you JoJo Siwa and Todrick Hall fans started coming to me in my DMs and telling me what a horrible piece of shit that I was and how old I was and all this kind of stuff. Todrick Hall ain't a whole lot younger than me, first of all, just so you know, okay? He's 11 years younger than me. Todrick Hall is actually older than my husband, so let's just put that in perspective for you, okay? And I've been with my husband for 15 years, so don't even go there, okay? But Todrick Hall is not a whole lot younger than me to be a predator protector. Just saying, okay? And I know y'all don't like that word, and people are like, the same people that say that I'm the liar of the world, oh my God, she's such a liar. Did you hear, Peter, on July 17th of 2018, at the 14 and 32 second mark, said that he doesn't like Diet Coke in a can. But just yesterday in his vlog at the 43 mark and 22 second mark, he said he likes Diet Coke in a can. He's a liar straight from the pit of hell. Well, you already said it. You know I'm a liar. You're the same people that said that going into 2024, I said I wasn't going to call people predator protectors anymore. Well, I guess I lied. Did I lie? Or did I change my mind? No, I fucking changed my mind, okay? And I'll tell you why I changed my mind, because there's so many people out there like you protecting those predator protectors that are continuing to give people like Coleen Ballinger and James Charles a career, which is why all these years later people are like, how does James Charles even have a career? Because of people like Todrick Hall that protect Coleen Ballinger and say, I don't care what any of you guys say, I'm going to continue to be her friend and whatever, and you don't leave your friends, because he has similar allegations, okay? And JoJo Siwa that says you take a lie and run with it, to her entire millions and millions and millions and millions of people, her audience, that she feeds that lie to, and all those people are like, oh yes, JoJo Bo, if you say it, it's got to be the truth, right? That's called social media influence. That's why these people refer to themselves as influencers, because they influence people. They influence people with what they say. So when JoJo Siwa, okay, gets in a podcast with Maury Povich. Who was that person? I can't remember who he is. I never can remember that guy. The podcast, what's his name? The bald guy, movies and back in the day, whatever his name was. I can't remember. I covered him in 15 videos. But anyway, now I gotta look it up. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. I gotta look it up. I got this tape right here and everything to put my JoJo Bo on. Where'd that damn JoJo Bo go? I'm so pissed. Why can't I think of it? It's not Maury. Okay. JoJo, hold on a second. JoJo podcast interview. Why can't I not remember? Why everybody's shouting at the camera right now. I know. Well, this video is about Todrick Hall. It's not really about JoJo Siwa. With the woman behind the bow. Oh, that was on the Caller Daddy. Okay. Where is this at? She's on Tana Mojo's podcast. That doesn't surprise me. Tana Mojo has everybody. Tana Mojo, somebody, she says, oh, I don't like this person, I like that person. Why does it not pull up anything? Here it is. Howie Mandel. What's so interesting is, when you go in here and you pull up JoJo podcast interview, now this, you'll talk about PR. This is PR. Somebody has pushed this down here. The first thing that comes up is the Caller Daddy podcast, and then all these different podcasts, people doing TikToks about it, on and on and on. And then H3 podcast highlights, Billboard magazine, Reddit threads, questions about it, Apple on podcasts. I mean, at the very, very bottom comes out and it's just it's a thumbnail for a YouTube video of the Howie Mandel interview. That's how far they pushed down that interview, her PR people, which yes, you can do. Image consultants can do that easily. And they got that done because they know that if anybody goes in there and does that and looks up JoJo Siwa podcast, if Howie Mandel comes up first, that's her defending a predator. That's her getting on there and saying about Coleen Ballinger, when there are victims, okay, that came out with irrefutable evidence, right? And they came out and they said all this stuff about Coleen Ballinger, and JoJo Siwa was in an interview, in a podcast, and she said, the thing is that you can take a lie and you can run with it and the whole internet believes it. What she did in that moment, right, is she lied and she ran with it and the whole internet believed her, the people that followed JoJo Siwa, right? And she was proving that in that moment. Adam McIntyre recently came out and he said that the reason why JoJo Siwa, by the way, Adam asked me, he was like, listen, I get asked all the time, we need to do a collaboration on a Zoom call or whatever. So I told Adam, I was like, whenever you want to do that. So Adam and I are going to do some kind of collaboration. I know that'll really piss the haters off. Do you know what's interesting to me is when people say to me, people get so upset with me for calling out Todrick Hall and JoJo Siwa, Manny MUA, Joey Graceffa, Daniel Prada, these people that are still allowing predators, okay, to have a job. Like, people are upset with me about that, for calling those people out there. People are upset that myself and other people are calling out James Charles, who got in a video as a self-proclaimed predator and apologized to 2 minors, okay, for his inappropriate actions. People are upset that I'm calling out Coleen Ballinger. People are upset with me about that, right? I mean, there's been 900 articles written about it. Billboard magazine, Rolling Stone, Time magazine. I just read an article in Time magazine last night about it. You know, all this kind of stuff. Why are you picking on Peter Monn? She don't even get no 10,000 views a video. She don't. I don't. Well, she do, but I don't. Okay? Why don't you go pick on Billboard magazine? Why don't you go pick on Time magazine or Rolling Stone? Why don't you go yell at all them people, okay? Oh, no, you spent your time over on Peter Monn's channel coming for Peter Monn. I'm going to keep on calling these people out, okay? Because the people that are defending them are the people that are giving them a career. And I think it's honestly a weird vibe when you take issue with somebody that's calling out a predator. If you are somebody in today's society that takes issue with somebody else calling out a predator, or somebody calling out somebody that is platforming a predator or giving a predator a career, I don't really know what that says about you and your integrity, but you go, Glen Coco. I don't know what to say about you. I don't, okay? But I'm just being 100% honest right here, you know? Like, that's where I stopped caring a long time ago. I'm like, so these people don't like me because I'm calling out a predator when there's irrefutable evidence that this person is a predator, and they are so unwilling to see it. And the thing that's weird to me, and I think that this is kind of a thing of like the newer generation, I really do, because there have been a lot of people that I have fangirled over for years and years and years, okay? But when they've come out and done something that was problematic, I saw them as human beings that had done something that was problematic, and I could no longer support them. We don't live in that era anymore. We really don't, you know? When people fan over somebody, or they side with somebody, or they've been supportive of somebody, then they are like so unwilling to see the truth when the truth is right in front of their eyes. So to be really honest with you, you know, my mother taught me years and years and years ago, do not value the opinion of someone you don't value to begin with. I don't value predator protectors. I don't value people that side with predators. I don't value with people that defend predators. Therefore, if you're coming to me and you're pissed at me, or you have issue with me or take issue with me because I'm calling those people out, I don't really care what you have to say in all honesty, okay? Because you're standing on the wrong side of the truth, and you'll see, you know? Yeah, maybe you'll get to go to a show with Coleen Ballinger and you'll get to sign her t-shirt. That's all it is, right? And you're also aiding and being part of the ongoing trauma that these victims will have had to have lived with for years and years and years and years and years, you know? While James Charles is sitting in his mansion in California and doing this and doing that, and there are people out there that have suffered at the hands of James Charles, and nobody takes issue with that, right? It's so weird to me that we live in such a, like, social, like, this word social justice, right, that has been, this is where it's important when we don't overuse words like bullying. Like, bullying is a word to me that it is literally like nails on the chalkboard when people are like, oh, you're bullying Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is a fucking public figure that wanted to be famous and wanted to be rich and has millions and millions of followers, okay? When you critique an outfit that Kim Kardashian has, you're critiquing something that a public figure that asked to be famous, okay, and wants to be famous, and has a reality show, and does any photo shoot that she's asked to do, you're critiquing her wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress to the Met Gala, okay? It's not called fucking bullying, all right? Bullying is getting slammed up against a locker, all right? And being called offensive names. Bullying is when you're in your workplace and people are threatening your job, okay? Bullying is when you are being stalked and harassed. Bullying is when in your own family, people are talking about you and putting you down and whatever, you know, and I've experienced that in several areas of my life, and so many people that have reached out to me and shared their stories have experienced it too. We have minimized the word bullying so much. Well, we've also minimized the word social justice and things like that. Now, if you care at all about any kind of social issue, you're considered a snowflake, right? You're considered somebody that can't handle it. You're too sensitive. And then it's like some people care about everything, but they aren't really educated on anything. And then other people are, you know, they don't want to say anything about anything and whatever, so it all gets messed up, you know? I get asked to speak about things all the time. I speak about the things that I know. I speak about the things that I am educated on and I know, because I do not want to give a negligent response to those things. That doesn't mean that I don't care about other world issues, but that's what I mean. Well, this is what's happened in the world, okay, is that we have so many people that are throwing this out and throwing that out that we have minimized what those words. Let me just give you an example, okay? When I was in my early 20s, you know, there were several issues that I was very passionate about. I was very passionate about addiction and recovery. I was very passionate about environmental issues like Earth Day and things like that. And I was doing like 4 or 5 different things. And I thought, I am spread so thin. I was sitting on boards. I was doing volunteer work here and there and whatever. And I was like, I am spread so thin that like, I'm not really making any change or any effort. I've got to pick one and stick to something that I feel really is vital to my heart. That doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion about other things, but if you're going to, and that's what I decided to do. That's not for everybody, but that's for me, right? Well, we went through this era of about 2 or 3 years where everybody had to watch everything they said, that now we're at a point that nobody gives a fuck about what anybody has to say. And that's just a reality. The pendulum has switched the other way. And that's because people were held to, like, Todrick Hall went to complain about cancel culture. Girl, you do not know what cancel culture is, okay? I lived cancel culture. I reported on cancel culture. And those people that supposedly were canceled are living in $10 million homes, paying the bills for their family, okay? Going on lavish trips, driving 2 and 3 lavish cars, Range Rovers, sports cars. You know, they put out a video every once in a blue moon. They hardly ever work. Do not talk to me about cancel culture, okay? Talk to me about the single mother or the single father that is working 3 jobs to put food on their table and standing on their feet all day long to make sure that their kids are in bed at night. Have somebody to watch them that can pay for childcare, get their kids to school on time and make sure that their homework's done just so that maybe that their generation could do a little bit better than they did, right? And they're working their asses off every single day. Cry me a river because you chose not to pay somebody and you've never come out and addressed it until just now when it suits you, okay? And you want to do all these horrible things that you've never addressed, but you want to talk about cancel culture, then get on fucking video and address it, okay? You know? JoJo Siwa, why don't you get on video and why don't you explain in depth what you meant, okay, as you're reinventing yourself as a bad girl? Is a bad girl a predator protector? I don't know. Maybe you should make that very clear to us before we know whether or not we should support you, okay? But this is what's happened in our society is that people were shouting and screaming and shouting and screaming about all this and all that and all this and all that, that now nobody cares about anything anymore, right? And so when people call out people and say, I mean, I'm being honest with you, 4 or 5 years ago, I have seen, you know, people know that I've called out people like Spill Sesh, you know, for going to JoJo Siwa's, her premiere party or having Manny MUA, somebody that not only supported Coleen Ballinger, but also supported, James Charles, continues to support James Charles, Manny MUA, okay? Got in Spill Sesh's video. And listen, my issue with this is so broad, and I don't really take personal issue with Spill Sesh. I think she makes some poor choices, but her credibility to me, especially after everything that we went through, as a drama channel is like completely shot. Like, I don't respect her opinion about anything, okay? I think she cares about the views and all of that goes along with it. I think she cares about the invite. Because I'm telling you right now, I sat on a video 4 years ago and I talked about PR, and I didn't want PR from people because we were getting called out left and right about getting fucking pallets from Jeffree Star, Toddy Westbrook, and everybody else, okay? You know, and I can remember Manny's dad reaching out to me wanting to give me a discount code for the Celine lip gloss that I used to use. And I was like, no, I don't want to take a discount code from you, because I told my audience that to give them an authentic response, an authentic opinion, I didn't want PR from people. I didn't want discount. I had people reaching out to me all the time wanting to send me pallets. And I was like, no, because so many people were talking about payroll back in the day, okay? Payroll was such a huge issue that if you even showed a palette, a lip gloss, or anything, well, you were on that person's payroll, so you had no credibility. Now we got drama channels that are showing up to premieres, going to launch parties, and they have full-on predator protectors in their face reveals, and nobody gives a fuck. That's how time has changed in 4 years, okay? Well, the same thing goes that if what happened to Coleen Ballinger last summer, and yeah, it hit her hard, but let me just tell you that if with the evidence that came out last year, I know Adam McIntyre came out in 2020 and addressed these things and nobody believed him because Coleen Ballinger was behind the scenes manipulating things. But if Adam McIntyre had come out 4 years ago, okay, let's say 2008, well, longer than that, 2018, 2019, at the height of all the Dramageddon and stuff that was going on, with his allegations against Coleen Ballinger, and Cody Rance was there to defend it, and all these other people came out, and Becky and Oliver and all these people were coming and sharing their stories as well. Can I just tell you right now, Coleen Ballinger wouldn't be making a fucking video today. And the reason that James Charles is able to make videos, make TikToks, go to launch parties, be everywhere, be seen, and have a makeup brand is because of people in the industry that continue to allow it. I will tell you right now, I get reached out for opportunities. People ask me, do this, do that, whatever, right? And the first thing I do is I go on their Instagram and I look and see who they follow. And the first two people I look and see is, do they follow James Charles and do they follow Coleen Ballinger? Because if they do, I want nothing to do with them, okay? Their credibility doesn't mean anything to me. And I don't really care what your excuse is. Oh, I'm a reporter, or I'm this, or I'm that, and so I have to follow these people. That's bullshit. I report on these people all the time and I don't follow them, okay? I can look into them. I don't follow Todrick Hall, and I looked all over his Instagram today. But this is what's happened the last couple years, right? Is that we felt so strongly about everything that then we started feeling strongly about everything, okay? And then everybody was calling out everybody about everything, and then nothing mattered anymore. And then it all got watered down. So today, the fact that James Charles is a predator and that there are actually two victims out there that he apologized to directly, and many, many more, okay? Straight men that he was coercive with and things like that. The fact that Coleen Ballinger has all these, it's so watered down now that people are underneath Coleen Ballinger's videos and they're saying, I don't care what, grown women that are mothers are underneath Coleen Ballinger's videos saying, I do not care what allegations do you have. I will always love you. You don't care as a mother that this woman was asking sexually inappropriate questions to somebody that could be your child. You don't care about that. You are okay supporting that person. Would you be okay supporting that person if they were your your kid's school teacher, your school's principal, the bus driver, the neighbor, your aunt? I mean, where does it stop? And so the problem really lies with us. That we oversaturated, not drama channels, us as viewers out there, us as society. It's the truth, right? We oversaturated calling out this and calling out that and calling out this and calling out that, right? That the reality is that somebody being a predator with multiple victims seems today on a much less level than when drama channels were getting fucking pallets in 2017. Can somebody please explain that to me? Can somebody please explain that to me? I'm not trying to take anybody's credibility away, right? Like, if Spill Sesh was sitting right in front of me, what I would say to her is, I would say, you have worked very, very hard on your career to throw your credibility away, because there might be a moment in time that you really want your word to count. I've watched enough of her videos to know now that she never shares her opinion. She walks such a fine edge so that she gets invited to the parties, but she's also reporting on it, getting the views. I know how she works, okay? Trust me, I know. I've seen it. I've looked into it. It's the same thing as when my husband and I, we used to watch the Chelsea Handler Roundtable every single night, and Perez Hilton was on there. And she started firing all these questions to Perez Hilton, and he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't share his opinion about anything. This was a man that was calling people out left and right. And I, to be honest with you, never really respected him back in the day for calling this person out or outing that person or whatever, right? But he had his finger on the pulse of trends back in the day because he always shared his opinion about things. And all of a sudden, he's on the Chelsea Handler show. He's on the Chelsea Handler show, which was huge back in the day, right? And she's asking him all these questions. And my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, he won't say anything because he's too afraid that he won't be invited to Paris Hilton's party. He's too afraid that he won't be invited to Lindsay Lohan's party. He won't say anything anymore. When you care more about being invited to those groups and being surrounded by, you've lost your voice, okay? And that's what I'd say to Spill Sesh today. Girl, you need to gain your, you want to be, hey, listen, I think with her following, she could be the next huge interviewer. She could be the next all that kind of stuff, right? Not if you throw your credibility away. My dad taught me years ago, you know, once you throw your integrity away, you can never get it back. To me, having Manny MUA, somebody that defended Coleen Ballinger and defended James Charles and still defends James Charles in your biggest video on your channel, to me, is throwing your integrity and your credibility away. And I don't really understand it. And that is something that years ago would be demanded of us to come out and speak about. So don't ever ask me to address another thing on this channel when you literally have another drama channel that's getting 10 times as many views as me that has a full-on predator protector in their face reveal of their video, which why even do a face reveal if you're not going to have your face in every video after that? It doesn't make any sense to me, but more power to you. You go, Glen Coco, again, right? So anyway, you do you, okay? But that doesn't make any sense to me. If I were her, I'd be working more on trying to get my integrity and my credibility back. So, but that's just me, all right? Because I would care more about that on the long run. But, you know, years ago when I started doing YouTube and people were like, oh, why is he starting another channel? Why is he starting another channel? Blah, 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 whatever. I was thinking long haul, right? I was thinking, how can I be existing on YouTube 10, 15 years from now? Right? I wasn't thinking about the parties and going to all this. I was thinking, how can I exist on YouTube 10 years from now? Well, I knew if I had multiple channels, one of them would take off and somebody like it. Now, if I only just have my vlog channel for the rest of my life and over here doing true crime and doing whatever I want to do, I can do that, right? But I'm going to keep up all my channels as long as I possibly can, right? So, for me, I wasn't thinking about the next party. I was thinking about the long haul. So, if she was sitting in front of me, I'd say, what is your long-term plan? You want to be an interviewer? I heard her say in some interviews she wanted to be, you know, this big interviewer or whatever. Okay. Well, you cannot be throwing your credibility away and be having predator protectors in videos. That's going to come back. Somebody's going to throw that back in your face down the road when you're interviewing for that job. And when you get that job, somebody's going to throw that back in your face. Trust me. Listen, you know, I've said it in videos before. We crawled so that they could walk, okay? And the shit that we went through years ago is just an example of how watered down nobody cares about these issues. I see stuff come up all the time. People ask me to talk about things all the time, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're asking me to address stuff that I don't even know who these people are, right? It's like the things that we, on a scale of 1 to 10, things that like 6 or 7 years ago, and no, it wasn't just a drama community, it wasn't just a beauty community, it was society. Things that 6 or 7 years ago, we would have on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 being horrible and 1 being not at all, that we would have given a 7 to a 10, today would be getting a 2 to a 4. That's just the truth, right? And more people are making excuses for Coleen Ballinger, and more people are making excuses for James Charles, and that's why they have careers today. It's not just because of those predator protectors. It's because of the people. It's us. It's us. And who we choose to support and who we choose to follow and who we choose to give our money to. And as long as the people continue to have platforms that continue to support and endorse James Charles and people continue to support Coleen Ballinger and all that, then they're going to continue to thrive. So 3 to 4 years from now, when I'm making a video and yet one of these people has done something again, and we're surprised by it, I won't be, because I think history repeats itself when nothing changes. And I've said this time and time again in videos, that a lesson is repeated until it's learned. They haven't learned their lessons, okay? There's evidence of that. You know, it's like Todrick Hall getting in his thing the other day and talking about how, like, Coleen Ballinger has made multiple apologies. What more do you want from her? And people, like, clip this and put it all over the internet that I said, where is she under my lip gloss? Where's that apology? Is it in my elbow? Where the fuck is Coleen Ballinger's apology? Todrick Hall, somewhere in his mind, as his friend, maybe he got an apology from Coleen Ballinger, but Adam McIntyre didn't. Becky didn't. Oliver didn't get an apology from Coleen Ballinger's family. All the other victims didn't get an apology from Coleen Ballinger or her family. So maybe Todrick Hall did. You know, maybe Trisha Paytas got an email apology or a phone call apology or whatever. Maybe Joey Graceffa got an apology, but none of the victims did. And that should show you where Coleen Ballinger's mentality is. This is going to stop. Hold on just a second. This video has gone in a completely different direction. I thought I was going to be making me a 15-minute video about Todrick Hall today. But that is why it's important, right? When Todrick Hall says she's apologized multiple times, my first question is to who? Because that apology does not exist out there, Todrick Hall. So if you've heard an apology from Coleen Ballinger, you got an apology. Adam didn't. Nobody else did. None of the other victims did. Why didn't they? You know? People are like, oh, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about the legal. Or, you know, Coleen Ballinger doesn't want to go to jail. Okay, Becky's allegations of Coleen Ballinger and the live show is not enough to merit. Let's just use that example alone, okay? It's not enough to merit Coleen Ballinger going to jail, being arrested, being charged with anything. Period. End of story. Okay? And I've talked to multiple attorneys about that. And I'm sure Becky probably has too, but I don't know. I've never talked to her. So Coleen Ballinger can't get in a video to the multiple hundreds of thousands of people that have bought tickets and done meet and greets with her and been on her show and been on her stands and followed her for years and years and years. You have to remember, Becky was on the stage because she was a fan of hers, right? And say to Becky, I am so sorry that this happened to you at my show and how you felt afterwards and you felt traumatized. Because of your story, I will make sure that nobody ever feels like that again, because I want the people that have followed me and supported me and been fans of mine to always feel safe. I want them to always feel safe at my shows, to not ever walk away feeling any kind of negative feelings or being traumatized whatsoever or having any kind of emotions whatsoever. Coleen Ballinger is a grown fucking woman. Whether she thinks she did something right or wrong, those people, okay, the Beckys paid for her house, paid for her life that she has. You think that you might be a little bit, okay, thankful for those people, that you can at least, as a grown-ass woman, get in a video and take just an ounce of responsibility, okay, that even if that person never felt that way, or that person never gave you any evidence that any of it was true, for you to even say, I don't ever want one person to walk away from my... Listen, I don't do shows, okay? I don't do tour, whatever. But I can tell you right now, if one person walked away from my show and said, Peter made a joke about me in the audience, he was shading me, and I felt a little bit called out by that, not even on the level that Becky's talking about, I would fucking get on video. I don't care if there are 20 people in that audience, okay? And I did 5 shows across the country. If one person walked away and said, I felt called out by that in that audience, I get on video and be like, I don't ever want anybody to feel that way, okay? Yes, shade is part of my show. It's part of what I do. I don't ever want anybody to feel that way. That alone should show you who Coleen Ballinger is. So where the fuck is the apology, Todrick Hall? Where? Where is the apology from Coleen Ballinger? Adam McIntyre has made it very, very clear what he wanted, okay? He has not received an apology. Period. End of story. I know, and I've checked with him on multiple occasions. Neither has his mother. Becky has never received an apology. Oliver has never received an apology. None of the other victims have ever received an apology. You know why that is? Because she hasn't issued an apology to them, Todrick Hall. Maybe she issued one to you for being a shit friend and bringing down your reputation when you stand by her. You know, but she didn't issue an apology to anybody else. But let's get to Todrick Hall for a second. You know, all these people that are coming out and defending Coleen Ballinger and whatever, and then they want to talk about cancel culture. Okay, so Todrick Hall wants to cry a river about cancel culture because he gets called out for allegedly not paying people that work for him, which was interesting because I got a comment underneath my video that was very specific, and I'm not going to read it on here. Y'all can go look, and I left it up, about somebody's experience. I don't know if it's true or if it's not. That's not mine to decide, okay? But there have been so many, there's assistants that come out that are making full TikToks about Todrick Hall. Then Todrick Hall has tons of allegations of inappropriate behavior. Tons! Birds of a feather flock together. Does it surprise me that you support Coleen Ballinger? No, okay? Because by your definition of what grooming or predatory behavior is, she hasn't done anything wrong, and neither have you. So you have to live under that definition so that you can survive and believe that you and her haven't done anything wrong. That's how you can continue to support each other, right? Oh, and then bring JoJo Siwa into that. And then she takes a lie and runs with it. But JoJo Siwa and her mom now have horrible allegations of mistreatment of people that have been on their show, right? And how they treated those people. So what does she do? Rebrand to get everybody's attention off that. Adam McIntyre said that. And I think he's 100% right about that, you know? But like I said, we'll do a deeper dive into that in just a little bit. Todrick Hall has cried this river about cancel culture. I did this video about him the other day. Well, first of all, if you are so concerned about cancel culture, okay, I don't know people that have truly been canceled. I mean, I do know people that have been canceled and, like, you know, child stars that aren't working anymore and doing whatever, and you find out where they are, and it's like, you know, they're working, I don't know, at the Marshalls in Topeka, Kansas or something like that, right? Okay, not many, but a few. Canceled to me is not having a 40th birthday, star-studded 40th birthday party. I don't care who paid for it, okay? Star-studded 40th birthday party, flying back and forth to London, like literally in 3 or 4 days, okay? Having extravagant luxury stuff and all this. That is not canceled, okay? Canceled is not being, literally you were canceled and then you talked about it on that reality show that you were on, The Gays of WeHo, and then you got asked to do Pride Day at Palm Springs. If you were truly canceled, Palm Springs would never have hired you to be at their Pride Day festival, okay? They'd be hiring Taylor Dane. Like they did back in the day. They wouldn't be hiring you, okay, to do your song and dance up on stage where you got booed out. They wouldn't have been hiring you if you were that canceled. If you are that canceled, you are not being hired for anything. I am so tired of Shane Dawson with multiple homes talking about being canceled, living the high life, traveling here, making all this money. Jeffree Star talking about being canceled. James Charles talking, please uncancel me. James Charles, please uncancel you. You're not canceled, girl. You have a $10 million home in LA. You bought your parents' home for them. You travel all over the world. You go to every red carpet event. You go to every launch party. You have your own new brand out. That is not canceled, girl, okay? I used to wear Michael Kors for men way back in the day, the original scent. It's been discontinued. It's been canceled. You cannot find that cologne anymore. No matter where you look, you cannot find it, okay? It is nowhere. I have looked. You cannot find it. And please, I know this is the one comment people will be like sending me screenshots. Trust me, the one I wore does not exist anymore, okay? It's been canceled. It's been discontinued. You are not canceled when you are having launches, doing Pride Day festivals, putting out videos, putting out TikToks, having extravagant birthday parties. Even if you never paid for a cent of that birthday party, canceled means nobody fucking shows up to your birthday party, okay? Todrick Hall, you are not canceled. So quit crying a river about it. And if you were, and if you ever consulted anybody in the PR business whatsoever, the first thing they might say to you is, if you're going to keep on using cancel culture as an excuse for why nothing goes right in your life, the one person you might not want to surround yourself with is the most canceled person of 2023. Coleen Ballinger. And yet, Coleen Ballinger still is not canceled. Coleen Ballinger is still putting up vlogs, doing a podcast with her husband, living in her house. She's playing with rocks. She's doing just fucking fine, okay? Even Colleen Ballinger is doing just fine. It's not canceled. So, cry me. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about cancel culture. Cancel culture never existed. Period. End of story, okay? The only time cancel culture exists is if somebody is watching somebody and they say their integrity, their credibility, what they believe in no longer aligns with me, I can no longer support them and I can no longer watch them, and they no longer do. That is when one person cancels another person. And it's not even canceling. It's just saying, I'm not supporting that person. It's been going on for hundreds of years, okay? It's nothing new. It's not a social media thing. It goes way back before social media. So, you know, I'm so tired of hearing people talk about cancel culture. Todrick Hall comes out with this statement. So, you know, Todrick Hall is big on putting all the statements out on the Instagram, puts them up and deletes them. So he puts this Instagram thing up the other day and says, I hate that I even have to respond to this. Now, if you didn't watch my video the other day, I talked about how Todrick Hall's family, their house burned down. It was tragically sad, okay? Listen, I can talk about people and be realistic and still feel empathetic and sympathetic for what happened to them. I feel horrible for Todrick Hall and his family for what happened. I would never wish that on anybody. And so he put up a GoFundMe, and he was trying to raise $10,000. The last time I made the video, it was at about $8,600. I have not looked since then, okay? He also then came out and said that he was so broke he couldn't, like, pay his bills, and celebrities have problems paying bills and stuff like that. And that he said that he was going to reduce his cameos until his birthday from $50 to $5. And that he wasn't asking for a handout. He was just asking people to buy services from him. He also linked his merch in there, okay? Well, I proved that he moved his cameo prices back from $5 back up to $50 a good 10 to 12 hours before his 40th birthday. So that was a lie. So he came out and lied, okay? He said he was going to do it for a reduced rate and keep it through his birthday, and he did not do that. He lied, all right? So, to me, that shows no credibility, all right? And I'm not talking about something that he lied about 10 years ago. I'm not talking about something that happened 15 years ago. I'm talking about currently, okay? This is his current behavior. Todrick Hall's current behavior is that he's supporting a predator and Coleen Ballinger. He's not holding her accountable as her friend. I've already addressed that in multiple videos. And then he just came out and he lied. He said, I don't have any money. I'm reducing my cameos. And then 10 hours before his 40, he could have left it up even a day after. He could have left it up till the midnight of the time that he turned 40. He didn't do that, okay? So he lied. So there's your credibility in Todrick Hall. So Todrick Hall comes out with this thing and he says, I hate that I even have to respond to this. And what it is it's a DM from somebody that says, you are a stupid, effing, ugly, it's racist language, lying, sociopathic, ignorant, more racist language, stealing money from people when you have plenty and more to buy your own family another house. And it is horrible. The statement is horrible, okay? Nobody deserves to get a statement like this. Then there's another one, LOL, you horrible, scamming, POS. It's horrible. They're horrible, okay, these comments. And then another one, saying that the house didn't burn down. So he put up here and he said, I struggle sometimes to decide whether or not to address controversy, but my experience saying nothing allows the internet to paint your narrative, and I'm not interested in allowing that anymore. Thank you. I appreciate that. So now you can come out and explain to us where you do stand with Coleen Ballinger, okay, with the allegations that are irrefutable, that there's actual factual evidence, okay? There's group chats where she was engaging with minors. There's DMs with Adam McIntyre. You said you watched the videos, which means that you know what was said by Coleen Ballinger. So you can come out, since you're no longer going to stay silent, you can come out and you can address those allegations word for word and how you can stand behind Coleen Ballinger, your friend's words. I never told you that you couldn't be friends with Coleen Ballinger in my video. I never said that that's what that I was asking or anybody was asking of you. You can be somebody's friend and still hold them accountable and telling them that they made a shit move and they need to rectify that situation. They need to work on themselves. If I were Coleen Ballinger's friends, I can tell you what I would say to her is, number one, there was nothing right about your behavior. Number two, I'm very concerned about you. Because if you think there's anything right with how you are acting, I'm very concerned about your well-being. That would be where I would be if I was a friend of Coleen Ballinger's, okay? He goes on to say, I just want to be crystal clear. I would never spend money that my fans raised during a traumatic time for my family on a birthday party. I don't remember anybody, and not even in these horrible statements did anybody say the money that you raised by your fans for the GoFundMe for the house burning you spent on, this person said your house didn't burn down, but that's not what they were saying, right? I just want to be clear. I would never spend money that my fans raised during a traumatic time for my family on a birthday party. I wouldn't, under these circumstances, spend my own money on a party either. Everything at my party was either gifted or sponsored, and it was organized by someone very close to me who knows I've been going through a rough time and wanted to celebrate me on my birthday and going away party. I don't expect anyone to understand my life, my choices, etc. And I know that I'm not for everyone, but the level of hate, death threats, racism, etc., and I don't condone any of that. I don't think any of that is okay whatsoever. The level of hate, death threats, racism, etc. that I receive on a daily basis is just not acceptable, and it's dangerous. People swear I don't pay for anything until it fits their narrative to say I'd spend $20,000 on a birthday, which I have never done. Everything's telling me to sell my home and my luxury possessions, which I am. Okay, but last year they swore I lied about owning my home. You can't sell a home you don't own, by the way, but no one checks these facts. They just circulate the headline. So you didn't own the home? Okay. At the end of the day, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who donated to help me help my family. This has been extremely difficult for us emotionally already without the internet chiming in. We need to be careful of how we talk about people online because these comments can be absolutely too much. I absolutely 100% agree with that. Don't forget that you defended Coleen Ballinger against Adam McIntyre, okay? So when you want to sit on here as a 40-year-old grown man and say, this has been extremely difficult for us, we need to be careful of how we talk about people online because these comments can be absolutely too much, especially from people who aren't at all involved in the situation. You aren't fucking involved in the situation between Adam McIntyre and Coleen Ballinger, okay? As a 40-year-old grown man to come out and say that you watch his videos, but it's still not enough for you. Who are you to decide that, okay, Todrick Hall? The tripod fell right as I was getting into the good stuff. But, you know, like, as a 40-year-old grown man, you want to talk about people coming for you online, but you literally did the same thing to Adam McIntyre. Do you not see that? You completely invalidated his story. Adam McIntyre, you said you watched his videos. Adam McIntyre goes through, I literally just last night was reading articles about it. I read a Time Magazine article. In the Time Magazine article, he's talking in there, the author's talking about things in there about Adam McIntyre went through and detailed this and detailed that and text messages that he got from Coleen Ballinger. You watched all that and you're okay with that and you invalidated, at 40 years old, you invalidated a victim, a 21-year-old victim story that was a minor at the time. You invalidated that. Because you know your friend and you know she wouldn't do those things. How do you know your friend on that level? You know? It's baffling to me, right? You can't come and speak out of both sides of your mouth. You can't come out and say, it's so horrible the hate that I'm receiving, but then I'm going to do it and send it to Adam McIntyre. To all your fans out there, and I have to tell you, I was very surprised when I was looking at people this weekend. I was like just looking up random people, and there are so many people that follow Todrick Hall that are out there in this industry and that industry, really reputable people that follow Todrick Hall. To those people that read that message, those comments that you put up there, on your own Instagram and say, yeah, I watch Adam McIntyre's videos, but it's still not enough for me. Well, what if those people never did watch Adam McIntyre's videos? What if those people didn't watch the Coleen Ballinger thing close enough? Then what you've done is, to all of those people out there, to all of those fans that didn't do their own research, you have led the invalidation of Adam McIntyre and the other victims, okay? So cry me a river about online hate. You know, you didn't say, I watch the videos, but everybody should do their own research. Everybody should watch them and decide for themselves. No, what you said was, I watch the videos and it wasn't enough for me. How could Adam McIntyre's videos possibly not be enough for anyone? That might be the most baffling statement that has come out of 2024 so far, right? Do I think that you deserve death threats and online hate? Absolutely not. I don't want that for anybody out there. I don't care, the worst person in the world, okay? Maybe a serial killer. But I don't think you deserve that at all, okay? I think that you maybe need to figure out your principles and your integrity a little bit and where it is and if you have any, okay? You know, I'm a lover of the saying from the movie, I can't remember that movie. What is the movie? Oh God, why can't I think of that movie? But anyway, principles only mean something if you stick to them when they're inconvenient. Why can't I remember that movie? It starts with a C. Oh, shoot. But anyway, I love that quote so much. Principles only mean something if you stick to them when they're inconvenient, you know? You stuck to your principles unless these are your principles, you know? And then you want to come out here and say all this kind of stuff. We need to be careful of how we talk about people online because these comments can be absolutely too much, especially from people who aren't at all involved in the situation. Thanks for everyone who helped, and thanks to all of my LA peeps who came out to support me for my birthday. Coleen Ballinger, Jeffree Star, people like that, right? I'm excited to unplug and be back with my first love, musical theater. And he goes on and shares some other things, right? Okay, so all the people that came out there and supported you. I don't know why, from a PR point of view, you want to bitch about online hate, but you just came out, okay, number one, and publicly supported Coleen Ballinger, not for your first time, but multiple times in the last month, okay? With your album release, supporting her as a friend in your Instagram comments, so that was the first thing. You want to bitch and moan about cancel culture? You've lived this longer than I have, twice as long, and you don't know about online cancel culture or hate or negativity that you're going to get, okay? So you come out in support of Coleen Ballinger. That was probably enough to warrant you some negativity, all right? Then you come out and talk about how broke you are, but you got to move to LA, and you ask people to buy your cameos and your merch, and then it's going to be on sale. Then you don't keep to that sale. You actually move your price up, okay? Then you don't address why you move your price up from $5 to $50 too soon. You just come out and talk about cancel culture again. Then the next thing is all these pictures of you at this extravagant birthday party that nobody knows if you paid for it or if it was gifted to you or whatever. All they know is Todrick Hall supports Coleen Ballinger, who is problematic as hell. Todrick Hall says that he's broke. Nobody was faulting you for asking for money for your family at all. I didn't, and nobody else that I have seen has, okay? One comment that you got in your DM, maybe 100 of those, that's not right. Nobody should be faulting you for that. I feel for you and your family for what you've gone through. The rest of it is bullshit, Todrick, okay? It doesn't minimize the rest of what you've gone through. I'm sorry that you're going through a horrible time right now. I really am, you know? But I don't know that somebody going through a horrible time is an excuse to protect a predator, even if they're your friend, all right? And you protect Coleen Ballinger, you come out and bitch about cancel culture, you talk about how broke you are, then you come out and bitch about cancel culture again, and then you show pictures with Coleen Ballinger at an extravagant birthday party that nobody knows if you paid for it on the heels of you saying you were broke or somebody else paid for it. I don't know what PR person in the world would say to you, that's a good idea to post a bunch of pictures like that with you, with the person that's probably helping you cancel yourself, even though that doesn't exist, but it's not looking good for you, and you're throwing up pictures. It's like a big F you to your audience, right? And to the people out there that might still be holding on a little bit. I don't understand what you don't get about this. I mean, one of the things through the years in watching Todrick Hall, back in the day when I did like him and I supported him and I thought he was very creative, was he seemed pretty bright to me. So I'm not really sure why you are willing to go, the distance with Coleen Ballinger. I hope she's worth it to you. I don't know if she's paid your bills. I know you stayed with her for a while. I don't know what she's done for you, but I will say this, okay? You can come out. You don't have to disown her. You don't have to not be your friend. You can come out, and you did kind of slightly say this. I don't align myself with the things that, but you wouldn't come out and specifically say what they did, right? You could come out to your very young audience, your very impressionable LGBTQIA plus audience of which you were a role model for a very long time, and say to them, I don't condone anything that Coleen Ballinger has done. I do not stand behind her with the allegations of Adam McIntyre. I side with Adam McIntyre. I've had those conversations with Coleen Ballinger. She needs to apologize to the other victims as well. She needs to apologize to Adam McIntyre and his family. I 100% agree with that. I'm very worried about Coleen. I think she needs some real help because she doesn't really see what's going on. As her friend, I will always love her, and I will always want the best for her, and I will encourage her to continue to get help, but I will also encourage her to do the right thing. Why hasn't that been the sentiment from we haven't heard that from anybody. We haven't heard that from anybody. Either people are just done with her and wash their hands from her. You know, he brings up a very interesting topic. I'm her friend. I'm going to stand by her forever. Well, what we're talking about is loyalty and friendship. What does that look like in the line of, you know, really horrible things that people have done? Are we talking about redemption a little bit? You know, one of my favorite movies, and no, this is a huge stretch of an analogy, but one of my favorite movies is Dead Man Walking with Sean Penn, and Susan Sarandon plays Sister Helen Prejean, who is a real story, and she was a nun, and she is talking to Sean Penn's character in the movie, who is a murderer, and basically he's like talking to her about the whole idea of finding religious release or whatever, and I'm not talking about this in a religious context, but to like be forgiven and being pardoned. And she's like, that's not what we're talking about at all. We're talking about redemption. We're talking about forgiveness. We're talking about moving through the pain. We're talking about being a different person. I'm not asking anybody to not be these people's friends. I'm asking them to come out and stand on the right side of what's right, you know? And yeah, maybe my opinion has changed by that over time about that. Maybe you can be friends with somebody, but also hold them accountable. But none of these people have ever come out unless they have stopped siding with these people and been friends. I would respect somebody for coming out and saying that. Listen, okay? If one of these people, Joey, any of these people want to come out and say they're either done with her and they unfollow her from everything and don't speak about it, or they don't anything, or they say I'm never going to leave her side like JoJo Siwa and Todrick Hall. I'd like to hear somebody come out and say, you know what? Coleen will always be my friend. James will always be my friend. I don't condone anything they do. I won't continue to support them or platform them until they come out and make a public statement and they address these things and they can start to work on these things. But I love them as a person. I always want what's best for them. I also think one of the things that we need to normalize in 2024, and it's something I talk about on a lot of my other channels, is setting strict boundaries with toxic people. I am not somebody, and listen, I'm giving a very lenient way for these people to remain friends with problematic people. Coleen Ballinger and James Charles are not two people that I would want in my life because they are so problematic and so toxic. I don't want negative, toxic people in my life, okay? And we need to normalize in 2024 it being completely fine to say, you know what? I don't want to be this person's friend with me anymore. I don't care what they've done for me. I don't care what bills they've paid for me. I don't care how much they've shown up for me. They are fucking toxic. They are fucking negative. I don't want them in my life anymore. They are problematic. I can no longer stand by what they do. I no longer support them, and I don't care, okay? But what it seems to me, and this is why the word is so appropriate with a predator protector, is that you're protecting these people, okay? Because you've got something to gain from it. What is it? At least come out and say that. Coleen Ballinger's paid a fucking ton of my bills, so I will never leave her side. Girl, we get that all day long, right? But then that would be you selling out your integrity. But see, you've already done that. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.